Hi, boys and girls. Um, well, now that we have started to learn how to do our online learning, and I've learned how to make these videos, I thought I would start reading to you. If you were in my class, we were reading the Mercy Watson books. And if you weren't, I don't know if you're familiar with these or not, but they're great, fun books, and I know that you'll all enjoy these. So I'm going to start today reading Mercy Watson, Something Wonky This Way Comes. So let's just, you don't need to see me. I'm going to zoom in so you can see pictures. There we go. Mrs. Watson and Mr. Watson have a pig named Mercy. Mr. Watson, Mrs. Watson, and Mercy live together in a house at 54 Deckawoo Drive. One Saturday afternoon, Mr. Watson and Mrs. Watson said, "My darling, my dear, there's a movie at the Bijou called When Pigs Fly." "When pigs fly," said Mrs. Watson. "What an inspiring title." "Mercy, did you hear that?" Mercy did not hear. Mercy did not hear because Mercy was not listening. "It says here that the Bijou proudly serves real butter," said Mr. Watson. "Oh my," said Mrs. Watson. "Real butter?" Mercy pricked up her ears. She was listening now. Mercy loved butter. She particularly loved butter on hot toast, but she would take the butter any way she could get it. "Yes," said Mr. Watson, "it says here that the Bijou proudly serves real butter on every bottomless bucket of popcorn." "Bottomless," said Mrs. Watson. "Bottomless," said Mr. Watson, "which means all you can eat." "All you can eat," said Mrs. Watson. "What a delightful concept." Mercy thought that all you can eat was a very delightful concept. "Let's go to the movies," said Mr. Watson. "Let's," said Mrs. Watson. "Oink," said Mercy. Chapter 2. "Where are you going?" said Baby Lincoln. "We're off to the movies," said Mr. Watson. "Oh," said Baby, "what movie are you going to see?" "It is a movie called When Pigs Fly," said Mrs. Watson. "Is it a romance?" said Baby. "Is it a movie about love?" "Well," said Mrs. Watson, "I think it is basically a movie about pigs flying." "Don't be ridiculous," said Eugenia Lincoln. "Pigs don't fly. It's a figure of speech." "What's a figure of speech?" said Mr. Watson. "The movie title," said Eugenia, "is a figure of speech, signifying the impossible." "Well," said Mrs. Watson, "we are going to be impossibly late if we don't get going." "Would you care to join us?" said Mr. Watson. "Yes," said Baby Lincoln. "Absolutely not," said Eugenia Lincoln. "Oh, sister," said Baby, "please say yes." "No," said Eugenia, but she got into the Watsons' convertible anyway. "Where are you going?" shouted Stella. "We're off to the movies," said Mr. Watson. "What kind of movie are you going to see?" said Frank. "It's a romance," said Baby. "It will be inspirational," said Mrs. Watson. "It's a figure of speech," shouted Eugenia. "Is it a movie with a happy ending?" said Frank. "Oh, it must end happily," said Mrs. Watson. "Can we come too?" said Stella. "The more the merrier," said Mr. Watson. Chapter 3. Police Officer Tomalello had the night off. Officer Tomalello was at the Bijou Drive-In. He was with his wife, Mrs. Officer Tomalello. They were in the front row. "It is nice to have a night off from the relentless duties of keeping the world safe from crime," Officer Tomalello asked himself. "It is nice," he answered himself. "It is very nice." Mrs. Officer Tomalello smiled. Mrs. Officer Tomalello patted Officer Tomalello's arm. Animal Control Officer Francine Poulet was at the Bijou Drive-In too. Animal Control Officer Francine Poulet was with Alfred P. Tompkins. Alfred P. Tompkins and Francine Poulet were on a date. "Do you think that there will be actual pigs in this movie?" said Francine Poulet. "I'm not certain," said Alfred P. Tompkins. As an animal control officer, said Francine Poulet, I have found pigs to be the wiliest clients of all. Really? Said Alfred. Absolutely, said Francine. Although I did catch a pig once. At least I think I caught a pig. Fascinating, said Alfred P. Tompkins. Simply fascinating. He put his arm around Francine Poulet. Chapter 4. Leroy Meeker was a small man with a big dream. Leroy Meeker wanted to become a cowboy. But for now, Leroy was working at the Bijou Drive-In concession stand. Leroy Meeker was selling bottomless buckets of popcorn. Yippee-i-o, he shouted. There's nothing faux. That's right, it's real butter, folks. Top quality, bottomless, and out of this world. Yippee-i-o. In between pouring butter and popping popcorn, Leroy Meeker worked on his lasso skills. He twirled the lasso. He made the lasso whistle. He lassoed a bottomless bucket of popcorn. He lassoed a stool. Yippee-i-o, sang Leroy. There's nothing faux about my skill with the lasso. Chapter 5. The Watson convertible pulled up to the Bijou ticket window. Help you? Said ticket seller Beatrice Leapoloni. We are here to see when pigs fly, said Mr. Watson. Beatrice Leapoloni took her glasses off. She put her glasses back on. She blinked. Pardon me and all, said Beatrice Leapoloni, but I'm seeing things kind of wonky. Is that a pig in the back seat of your vehicle? Her name is Mercy, said Mr. Watson. She is our darling, our dear, said Mrs. Watson. I'm not sure pigs are allowed at the Bijou, said Beatrice Leapoloni. Actually, said Mr. Watson, she is a porcine wonder. Do you know about porcine wonders? Porcine wonders, said Beatrice Leapoloni. Yes, said Mrs. Watson. Beatrice Leapoloni blinked. I don't think there are any rules against porcine wonders, she said. Excellent, said Mr. Watson. Good evening to you then. Beatrice Leapoloni blinked again. She adjusted her glasses. Wonky, said Beatrice Leapoloni. Wonky in the extreme. Well, boys and girls, I'm going to stop there. I hope you've enjoyed the first part of Mercy Watson, Something Wonky This Way Comes. Tomorrow I'll post another video and we'll continue. So tune in again. Until tomorrow. Bye.